Hello everybody, welcome. This is Cody. Welcome back to CJTV Station 8. So the Super Bowl. I'm just gonna do a quick, brief review on it because some people are still a little bit sour. I was disappointed because I wanted the 49ers to win. But I gotta admit, that was a good game. I really enjoyed it. It wasn't the Tom Brady Super Bowl. So I was happy about that. Moving on. That was just a quick review. So now we're going to, speak of Tom Brady, we're going to play a game. So we got Caleb, of course. We got our dad who prefers not to be shown his face.
That's our dad?
Yeah, he prefers not to have his
our
face shown.
driver?
And of course, Kyle with the new swag look. Very classy, like it. Alright, so here's our game, guys. We're going to try to figure out where everybody's going to go for free agency. So here's the list of free agents that we are going to mention. So we're going to start off with two potential free agents, and Cam Newton and Alex Smith. Then we're going to include the two Saint quarterbacks, Drew Brees, Eddie Bridgewater, the two Tennessee Titans quarterback, Marcus Mariota and Ryan Tannehill. We're going to mention Phillip Rivers. We're going to mention trying to remember. Tom Brady. So there's that. Who is it?
T. Brady.
Should we include Dak Prescott on this list? Or should we not? I don't think we should.
Let's just include him.
I don't think we will, but
I don't think the Saints' quarterbacks are on free agents.
but Teddy and Drew Brees are. So trying to think who else. Was there any other quarterbacks I'm missing? I feel like there was. Oh well, we'll come back to it. So yeah, I mentioned Tannehill. So two Titans, two Saints, Tom Brady, Phillip Rivers. So that's 6. I feel like there was 2 more I'm missing. Well, I know Kirk Cousins was not one of them. I know that much. And definitely not Eli Manning. Oh wait, sorry, too soon. All right, so Cam Newton and Alex Smith. That's who else I mentioned. Okay, so let's start off with the two potential free agents. Potentially, they're not confirmed yet to be free agents. So let's start off with Cam Newton and Alex Smith. So let's start off with Alex Smith. I think he stays with Washington. I think he competes with Dwayne Haskins for the starting job. And Ron Rivera wants to have a look at him still. He's going to get a Super Bowl ring because Kansas City said thank you to him for helping him with Patrick Mahomes. So he's going to get a ring even if he wasn't part of the team, which I think is a nice gesture. I really do not see him. If he leaves, I don't think he really starts anywhere else. I think this is probably his only chance to be a starter if he really wants to. He's coming back 18 months from a gruesome injury. So it's going to be an uphill battle, but I think it's either Washington or retirement for him. Cam Newton, I think Cam Newton he's on his way out for Carolina. I think Carolina is going to try him out. It would be in their better. It's tough because he's been injured so much. But at the same time, Kyle Allen did not really do well. They have a rookie that was injured that's on deck. I do not remember his name right at the moment, but I really don't think that I don't think that Cam Newton stays at Carolina. I think it's a new era. I don't think he goes to Washington, however, to reunite with Ron Rivera. I think at this point he might. There's 2 teams I think he could go to. I think he could end up going to Chicago, where Matt Nagy is, because let's be honest here, the Mitchell Trubisky experiment was a bust. A big bust. And Cam Newton's a much better quarterback overall than Mitchell Trubisky. Big time. The only other place I could truly see at this point, which is a shot in the dark, but the only other team I could possibly see is he's a temporary fix in case if Tom Brady decides to leave New England. He goes to New England for a year or two. Tries to get a Super Bowl ring. If he does, he does. If he doesn't, he retires. Because he's too injured at this point to really have a big, huge run. But if you have offensive linemen protecting you, and it's a short run, he might have... that may either revive his career, or he might at least be able to salvage what is left of his run. That's a possibility. Now... that's just my prediction. What do you think of those two, Caleb and Kyle and Dad? Anyone want to jump in?
With Cam Newton, I think he has no years left as a starter. I think he's had his years as a starter. He's had good years, but at this point, he's just done. I can see him going to a team with a younger quarterback to kind of like have him get the next Cam Newton ready.
Okay.
Preferably without the attitude. I can see that happening, but at this point with Cam Newton, I can't see anyone wanting it because he's older and he's been hurt a lot, and honestly, he's had a pretty good, decent career.
Yeah.
So at this point, he doesn't really need.
I mean, he was a game short of the winning. He was shy of winning the Super Bowl, and he had an MVP career, but
that is always irritating, but still. And as for the other one, I don't think he's good enough to even go to the retirement home team in the Cardinals. He's not. No, I don't see him going anywhere right now. Maybe.
Yeah.
Staying where he is, but
Alex Smith, in my opinion, he's not your Hall of Fame quarterback. He's kind of like a Jake the Snake Plummer. He's good enough that he's a worthy starter. So I think that's what he does.
Right.
Any thoughts to Kyle or Dad? If not, we will move on. Cam goes to Washington. Do you think it's because of Ron Rivera having that chemistry with him?
Yeah, but I think that Haskins has to be their future.
Oh, absolutely.
Just to that point.
Oh, absolutely. I think the biggest problem too is just the handling of Trent Williams and a few other things. Like the Redskins organization as a whole is a mess. Bruce Allen just got fired as their GM. Dan Snyder still hasn't fired himself, but I don't think he is ever going to do that unless if the team practically flops out and he has to sell because he's losing too much. But yeah, I don't think Alex Smith goes. But yeah. Anyway, what about you, Kyle? You good, or you want to say anything?
Well, I do have to agree with Dad on this one about... What was the quarterback? Cam going to Washington.
Yeah. Okay.
But Alex Smith, well, let's see. There might be a couple of teams
Yeah.
who would want Alex Smith on. Like, probably Cleveland.
no.
They
As a
need
backup,
to-
maybe.
Because
They got their quarterback, though.
Browns need to
They've-
rebuild big time.
They've
Yeah.
already tried that.
Well, I mean, Cleveland has the best quarterback that they've had since they've come back in '99. Like, Baker Mayfield's their best quarterback they've had
That's
since
saying
then.
something because they've had a lot. of
Yeah,
quarterbacks.
but I mean, at this point right now, just need to invest in Baker and need to invest around him because if he has the players, if he has the talent, he'll be fine.
But he did have the players last year, supposedly, that had the talent, and they still stopped.
Well, I
And
think.
you got to put a lot of that on Baker Mayfield because he threw a lot of picks and was not good on his passes last year.
Yeah,
And I think also, too, too much personality, which
the problem with
I think if you settle down, if they settle down and just focus on football, I think they could be a lot better than they were. So.
I think Baker Mayfield's going to go the way the rest of the Cleveland Browns quarterbacks go.
Bust?
Those guys, they think they're so great, and then they end up not doing much unless he finally grows up and starts learning to be respectful to other people.
Oh, absolutely. Here's the thing. We're going to move on, but I just want to say something really quick. It tells you something when, since 99, Cleveland's only made the playoffs twice. 2000 with Tim Couch, 2010 with 2009 or 2010 with Derek Anderson. That's it. And they've not had a winning They have not had a winning season this past decade at all. That tells you something. All right, moving on, guys. Sorry. Sorry, buddy. Sorry. Anyway. All right. I'm just going to get these two big ones out of the way. Philip Rivers, Drew Brees. This is tough. But believe it or not, I think both retire. Both call it a career. Philip Rivers, whether he likes it or not, will always be the quarterback the Chargers should have never had. I'm sorry to sound mean like that way, but he should have been the quarterback that, while he benefited them, they should have kept Drew Brees. Should have never traded to get Philip Rivers from the Giants, because the Giants were the ones that drafted him. Yeah. Eli Manning didn't want to be a Charger. That's why.
So much better for my team if that all happened, but whatever.
Yeah. And but I mean, Philip Rivers could go to Tampa Bay, but I mean, and he would do okay in Bruce Arians' thing. But in the long run, it's basically, you're pretty much saying that it's going to be a short-term deal. It's not going to be a long-term fix. At this point, I don't think Winston will get the huge contract that he wants, because he may have led the league in yards. He may have led the league in getting 35 touchdowns. He also threw 30 picks. The first 30. If you're throwing 30 picks in the season, that's not good. I mean, that is probably the most... Did you know that's the most interceptions thrown in league history?
Plus 16 games.
By a starter?
That's at least 2 picks a game.
Yeah.
That's not good.
Yeah, that's horrible. And by the way, I'm just going to also throw another thing out there. Jameis Winston does not return to Tampa. I think there's only 2 options he's going to have. He either takes less money for Tampa, or the only other organization I could see giving him a chance is Carolina. Because Carolina's, like I said, I don't think Cam Newton's going to remain with the team. I think at this point, you got to give Jameis Winston up. But yeah, so Drew Brees, though, on the other hand, the reason why I say he's retired is A, in the Pro Bowl, he's already teased retirement, that he's contemplating it. Now, he could just be scheming us all and he gets a contract deal. But the thing is, I think if the Saints were going to sign him, I think they would have already done so. And they've already proclaimed that Taysom Hill is their future quarterback. Now, say what you want about Taysom Hill. He did well, but he was not the quarterback in the regular season who got you who had that really great run. That was the other Saints quarterback, Teddy. Now, there is some theories that I've heard And I mean, I've heard Miami in the past because Miami's where he's from. I've also heard an Indianapolis Colt, former Indianapolis Colt, Pat McPhee, saying that he thinks it's possible Teddy goes to Indianapolis and be the missing piece. Now, mind you, Jacoby Brissett did well considering the fact that he was coming in for Andrew Luck. Now, Teddy, I think, is more than capable of winning Super Bowl. I think he at least gets... I think he has a shot of at least playing once in a Super Bowl. At this point, I think Indy is the better choice, so I actually agree. I think Indianapolis is where he goes. I think if the Saints want to have a chance to have a dynasty run, they keep Teddy. And Taysom Hill is a career backup. Because here's the thing, people don't realize. Taysom Hill is already 31. And the reason, he was a 29-year-old rookie. He's only going to be playing a few more years. He's not going to be... I mean, maybe he's the Kurt Warner, Cordell Stewart mix that of this generation, but at this point, I really say Teddy's better off going with the Saints, but I think reality will see him go to the Colts. As for Marcus Mariota, honestly, I think he goes to, if there's any team that he should go to, I think it's New England because Bill Belichick will revive his career. I think the problem is the system that Mike Vrabel has. Marcus Mariota really just didn't fit. Now, Bill Belichick, on the other hand, is known to adapt. He's known to adjust. Marcus Mariota could have a really good run in New England. Now, whether he will or not, that's up for debate. And I could be very wrong on that. But I think New England's a good landing spot for him. It could help him. He could go to Chicago. But I don't think that will be in his best interest. I definitely think that he'll have to worry about Mitchell Trubisky. And he'll be stuck in the same spot he is with Ryan Tannehill currently. Basically, he needs to go to a spot where he could have potential to be the guy. And then finally, Tom Brady. I think there's only 3 options left. He teases retirement, but actually retires. Which is the least likely out of all of them. Just saying. The one that's in the middle, he pulls out the shock of the world, leaves New England, and goes to Los Angeles Chargers, revives that Chargers, and finally gives them their Super Bowl win and retires. Or he pulls the wool over eyes, which is the one I think is going to happen. He pulls the wool over everyone's eyes saying, nope, I'm coming back to New England. Because at this point, and yes, he has moved out of New England. But keep in mind, too, just because he's moved out does not mean he's leaving. The thing is, he had a penthouse in the stadium itself. So he was living at the actual stadium. Even though he owns several homes, mind you. The guy has at least 2 or 3. But he was living in the penthouse in the stadium itself, and he moved out. So, I mean, it could be just him trying to save money. I mean, you really do not know at this point, but I think ultimately the top 3 quarterbacks, Phil Rivers, Drew Brees retires, Tom Brady does not. He remains in New England, but I think Marcus Mariota could save his career. Jameson Winston could try to revive his career. There's a lot of moving pieces at this point. Now, what was everyone's thoughts before we end things? Like,
Tannehill, like 1 year for Miami.
1 year for Tennessee, you mean?
No, not Tannehill. I'm sorry, Fitzpatrick.
I don't know. I think he has 1 more year. Yeah.
Because I could see Tom Brady going to, is it Miami in their division?
Yeah.
I could see him going there.
I've heard that.
Just to prove to everybody, like, you know what, I'm the reason why the Patriots win.
Yeah.
And try to get the players around them to
You know what would be even funny? It won't happen, but what if he went to the Jets?
Yeah.
Replace Sam Darnold and win 7 Super Bowl.
Okay, he's done with Super Bowls. He's not getting any more Super Bowl rings. His hands are going to have calluses for years. He's not going to have any more Super Bowls.
Tom Brady going to Minnesota.
So many wrinkles in Tom Brady's fingers, he can't put another ring on. He's not getting another one.
The Vikings fans, some of us, don't want Tom Brady.
Oh, I don't think any Minnesota Viking fan wants Tom Brady.
I don't think
That's
anyone
because
wants Tom Brady.
I mean, he'd be a better option than Kirk Cousins, but I don't think in the long run, I think you're better off just having Kirk Cousins because Brady's not going to last.
I think Kirk Cousins said, well, I think that the Vikings need an offensive line.
Right. But, I mean, he's got to, this upcoming year, Kirk Cousins just got to prove it. If he does not win the Super Bowl, I don't think Minnesota should re-sign him because that's why you signed him. That's why he went to the Super Bowl when it was hosted in Minnesota.
You got to fix that line first, so.
Yeah.
That's the most important thing.
Yeah, because, I mean, at this point, if you can't get things going, that Minnesota's not going. If Minnesota can't do it next year, they're not going to be able to for a long time.
There's no way that Cook should have been able to run on the 49ers. That offensive line stunk.
Yeah. Yeah, at this point, if they don't do it this year, the honest truth is Dalvin Cook will become the next Adrian Peterson, meaning that he will literally be the offense. And I'm not trying to say that being mean. I think that if we're going to do it, we're going to do it now. Because Stephon Diggs, I don't think is going to stay with the team very much longer because of all the stuff that's happened. Thielen, I think, remains for a while. But at this point, your defensive line, I think, your defense is going to be the one that's going to suffer the most at this point.
The defense, the line's good. The linebackers are good. But those corners need to get better.
Yeah. So, all right. So, quarterback-wise, what do you guys think about all of the stuff what do you think?
I think Tannehill stays right with Tennessee. I don't think Tennessee's going to let go of Tannehill.
But I think, but I personally think that Drew Brees, he either stays with the Saints or goes somewhere else.
What if, here's the crazy part, what if Phillip Rivers goes to free agency and returns to the Chargers and gets them Super Bowl?
Stop saying Super Bowl. These old people are not going to get any Super Bowls. The next, no, you're going to have Baltimore and people like that making the Super Bowl.
Well, they're not that old.
I think, though,
I think there's
with Tannehill, he's done one thing that Mariota did not do, and that is get Titans to the playoffs. Which is a hard
technically, Derrick Henry did that, but
I said Mariota. He did something that Mariota couldn't do.
Well, no. What I'm saying is Derrick Henry. I'm just gonna say this.
Yes, I know.
Derrick Henry is the only. He's the only reason why they made the playoffs. Because quite frankly, if you look at Tannehill, during those 2 games that they won, okay, less than 100 yards. Everyone criticizes Jimmy Garoppolo in the conference championship for throwing 6 out of 8 for 77 yards, but Tannehill went back-to-back games, less than 100 yards, and Derrick Henry won that game for them. Period. Hands down.
What I'm saying is they're not going to get rid of him. He is going to stay on the team he is currently just because of that. Just because he, with of course, yeah. He beat Tom Brady.
And I
which
mean,
is
if they
something-
don't keep Derrick Henry there, he's going to be a free agent. Which in that case, he'd be a hot prospect.
Yeah,
Like,
if they don't keep him, Tannehill is just gonna go down the hill.
like
because-
yeah.
We forget he played on Miami before this.
Oh yeah, and that's
Miami.
Just, I'm sorry. The only thing they have hanging on anymore, 1972, 73, and Dan Marino.
Oh.
That is it.
Don't forget they beat the Patriots, since that was so hard this year.
I know, right?
Yeah, Tom Brady. I see him trying to make it onto another team, but he's not going to. I think he's on his last legs as a quarterback, but he's going to try because he still enjoys the game. He still is going to try, but
Oh my goodness. So that Super Bowl commercial was
which
fantastic.
one?
Where you thank the fans as he has a big announcement. Hulu has sports. That was the
Hulu has
that
sports. I have a big
a highlight.
announcement. You're retiring? Hulu has sports.
No.
Because I even know Patriots fans who don't like him.
Yeah, I know. Like the
just like-
Patriot fans.
All the ones
Now
I know,
the Patriot.
the ones I know are just like, I don't like Tom Brady.
You want to know the fight part? Here's the fight part, okay? In the loss against Tennessee, guess what fans did? They burned his jersey. They burned Tom Brady's jersey.
Bro.
Tom Brady, the guy who basically replaced Drew Bledsoe and led you to so many Super Bowls, they burned his jersey after the loss against Tennessee.
Yikes.
Man! All I gotta say is New England fans are ridiculous, man. But, like, seriously, like, I think he does the tease, and he either goes to, like, the Chargers, like I said, or he goes to, or he stays in New England.
Yeah.
Because I don't think he's gonna retire. Like, if he actually retires, that will shock me. If he does, then by 2025, he'll be in the Hall of Fame. If he retires, because I don't.
You think first year?
Yeah, I think first ballot, and the reason why.
It's a bunch of Patriots fans doing it.
Well, I think, despite all the controversy, the reason why I think it will be unanimous, not unanimous, but first ballot is because there'll be two or three that say no, but he will have that first ballot moment where he'll get in right away, because yes, you could argue that the rigged part, but even if you took away some of the controversial ones, the guy still has like 2 or 3 Super Bowls.
Yeah.
And actually,
Like early on in his career.
He does.
So I think, in all sincerity, that won't be taken away. But anyway, any other predictions or no?
Well, I did agree with some of the stuff you said, like, Drew Brees should retire, I think. I'm not saying that he needs to, because he still has it in him. But after this last year, I just think he should, call it quits, and then in a couple years, accept that
That golden jacket?
golden jacket. And then with Teddy Bridgewater, he's the one who stepped in and won the games for Saints this year.
Mm-hmm.
Even beating one team that I'm not proud of. Yeah. So he's the one who stepped in that. He was there, Taysom Hill, but Taysom Hill is good at what he does, and what he does is not the starting quarterback job.
Right. The only major argument for Taysom Hill is he was the reason why the Saints came back against Minnesota, and almost won the game, because Drew Brees was not doing it.
Right. But
Taysom Hill made the plays that really brought the Saints back.
Right. But
But what's his durability going to be if he's every play?
Right, and
as a offensive
And the thing is, keep in mind, he's already in his early 30s because he, like I said, to about 1 or 2 years ago, he was a 29-year-old rookie. He's already like 31, 32, somewhere around there. He's already in that position where he's going to be too old. Now, we got to wrap up this video, but personally, I think the quarterback stories are going to be interesting. Now, the only other thing as of note is if Derrick Henry does leave Tennessee, who does he go with? Bonus round. One final round.
Oh, I know.
Who does Derrick Henry go to?
I know. XFL.
No, I think he's too big of a star for that. I'm going to say this. This is going to sound really bold. I could see the Cleveland Browns making a shot at him.
Not with Chubb on the team.
Well, I mean, depends if Nick Chubb's hurt. But, I mean, they have Nick Chubb, they have Kareem Hunt. But,
So who's in the Tennessee Titans division?
you got Jacksonville, who's got Fournette, which...
Jacksonville stinks.
Yeah.
Well, Texans got Watson.
But, yeah. I don't know. We'll have to solve that later. This video is almost full. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe. And as always, we'll see you in the next video.